Hey Gemini, it's your turn. So this is going to be your December's general reading for my single Geminis. That's your card, Gemini. The lovers, I love this card, man. That'd be a badass tat, you know. But this will be, well, the last reading you do for this year for you. Remember, this can't resonate with everybody. This is meant for large groups of people, so take what resonates with you and what doesn't, toss it out. I can't stress the fact enough, never give your power over to a tarot reader. This is meant for entertainment and fun, even though a lot of times these readings will resonate with you. Be sure to check your moon, your Venus, your rising signs as well, because those might resonate with you as well. So I'd like to thank all my likes, shares, subscribes, and donors and everything. All that stuff's really cool. I love when you leave comments because I read them all. And I just, if you need a private reading, there's a link in the description box below. There's also a link to our donation button down there. And well, let's get on with your reading, Gemini. So let's see what your current energy is like here. You know, I feel like you're feeling pretty good, you know, loving yourself right. Maybe there's been a decision you've been needing to make, Gemini. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. I was just going to say, I feel like the God Force is kind of wanting you to take some time and rest. But I've got, in your current energy, the Ace of Wands. So I feel like maybe your current energy right now is, I don't know, maybe you're getting really spiritual and trying to connect to the divine, you know. Let's go a little further here, Gemini. In your pre-shuffle, I was seeing stuff like healing and resting. In your past energy, I have the Moon card. So maybe you were uncertain, unclear about some things in the past. Maybe you're praying about them now. Maybe asking the universe to give you insight on some situations from the past. Maybe you've been just kind of isolating a little bit, Gemini. Your future energy, I see you, and I saw this in your pre-shuffle too. Loving yourself, right? This is my self-love card. This person is totally emotionally fulfilled, and they have, you know, all that they need. They even got a few aces up their sleeve, you know, behind that curtain. You don't know what's back there, but they're pretty pleased with it. So I feel like, Gemini, you've been trying to manifest. You know, you've been in that step one process in your past where it's like, well, there's a three-step process to the manifestation technique when it comes to law of attraction. First, you put your desires out into the universe. So you kind of go deep and you figure out what it is that you want. You kind of dig deep inside yourself. Then you let go and you let the divine take it from there. You know, God, Source, Oprah Winfrey, Tom Cruise, whoever, whatever you believe in, you know, you say, hey, I trust that you have my best intentions in mind, and that you will help me manifest these things. So you let it go. And then boom, manifestation. You're totally emotionally fulfilled. So I feel like you've been going deep, trying to get in touch with the divine currently. And I think the outcome is going to be loving yourself right, you know, having that self-love that maybe you need. I see being emotionally fulfilled in the future. I've got Temperance in your past column. So maybe you went down deep, did a little soul searching, and you had to get balanced here. You know, over some things that you had to figure out about yourself or you didn't know about yourself. And I don't see another person in this reading. This is very personal to you, Gemini. So, I mean, maybe you uncovered some secrets about yourself, you know, that are helping you balance out. I see in your current energy right now that you're guarding your money and your heart with the Four of Pentacles. And you might be being divinely guided to do this. To kind of guard yourself, keeping yourself to yourself, huh, Gemini? He's keeping himself to himself. Ooh, very wise, very wise, very wise, Gemini, very wise. So I see that you're keeping yourself to yourself currently. No, I'm not going to take that. It's weird. That's weird. I'm not going to do weird. I'm getting a little weird. This coffee has been triggered. Okay. I see you getting committed, dedicated in your future energy. And I feel like this dedication is what's going to bring on the self-love. Or you're getting dedicated to loving yourself first, Gemini. That's what I see in your future energy. That's probably why you're keeping yourself to yourself. You know, and I feel like you're being divinely guided to do this. Like you feel comfortable, you feel in alignment with just kind of keeping to yourself, keeping your money to yourself. You know, not really opening up your heart to too many situations or anything like that, which is okay. So you went through a transformation in the past. This is my death card. This is not a bad card, people. This doesn't mean that people are going to die or somebody died in your situation. If someone did, I'm sorry. But this is going through transformation. So I see in the past, you know, you went down deep, figured out some secrets about yourself. Gain balance. Gained your balance. You can see she's balancing out those cups. 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot in your emotions, 1 foot grounded. And then she's taking the emotions and she's making them equal in those cups. Okay? So she's balancing out. She is balancing out their emotions, and you're going through this transformation, and you're being divinely guided right now in your current energy to keep yourself to yourself. Okay? You're not telling them I'm not from the north or the south or the east or the west. I'm not telling you where I'm from, but I'm keeping myself to myself. Okay. And this, in turn, is going to bring you a lot of emotional fulfillment and loving yourself first. Maybe you haven't been loving yourself first, Gemini, and this is something you discovered about yourself in the recent past, that you need to love yourself first. And this is the I know my worth, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not afraid to eat alone card, which is excellent. And all this has come about because you're going to get disciplined in this, in loving yourself right and moving toward the things that feel best. That's your future energy. That's great energy to have in the future, you know. I feel like currently you're confused, or you have options right now. Maybe that's what's got you guarded. That's why you're keeping yourself to yourself, because maybe you have a lot of options coming in here, a lot of suitors. I don't see any knights here on the table or anything, but maybe you're being faced with a lot of choices, and it's becoming confusing to you, and maybe that's why you're kind of keeping yourself to yourself. That's what I'm going to title this. Keeping yourself to yourself, Gemini. Okay. What is this? What else we got going on here in the future for you? Yeah, so you're going to be juggling this decision, these options in the future. But let me show you that a little bit better. I see you juggling these options in the future here, because I think you're being faced with options right now. But I also see you being very disciplined in this decision-making process and loving yourself first. Good job, Gemini. And I feel like you're coming to that conclusion right now. You're being divinely guided to just love yourself first. I can't say it enough. Um, and I feel like you're kind of preparing yourself to make this decision right now. That's kind of why you're kind of to yourself. And this could be a financial decision that you have to make, because this is the Two of Pentacles here, and the Four of Pentacles is right at the heart of your reading. So I don't see this much as a love reading at all. So maybe you are guarding your money and trying to be disciplined with your money. You're being faced with a lot of options that you can do with it, but I see you being very disciplined, thinking of yourself first in this situation, not selfishly, but in a good way, and how you're going to continue to be emotionally fulfilled with the decision that you end up making. I want to see what's up with this decision. So what's this decision about? Well, I have the High Priestess. This could be a lot about I want to say this could be a lot about like getting back into your spirituality, whether that's church, whether that's tarot, whether that's Wicca or Judaism or Buddhism, or the list goes on ad infinitum. It could be AA for all I know. But this person's holding the Torah, and the High Priestess is a very wise person, and they know how to balance their dark side with their light side over here, with their darkness with their light. And so, whatever decision that you're making here, it might have a lot to do with getting back into your spiritual program. And it could have a lot to do with money too, but I definitely see you guarding your heart in this decision-making process, which means that this is a heavy burden for you. This process that you're going through, Gemini. And you're trying to use your intuition in this situation, in this decision. I mean, those are mostly advice cards, is what I'm getting, is, absolutely use your intuition and dump the burden that you're carrying. Turn it over. Yeah. So the burden that you're carrying is that you're super disappointed about something. This is my butt hurt card. Let's put this over here in the butt hurt section and see what your butt hurt over, because whatever it is, it's got you carrying this burden and juggling making a decision that could affect your overall fulfillment, and throw you off balance and get you confused. Yeah, I feel like this is what's up, Gemini, is you have finally started to love yourself right. You've gotten disciplined in your life, and now some options have come up that have gotten you guarding your heart, juggling, carrying a heavy burden, and trying to use your intuition in this situation. It's something that you're butthurt over, in the past, and I see you kind of just trying to, you know, like talk to the hand, you know, like stay away. Like you've transformed, you've changed. And now this burden is back. And this could be residual effects from that Mercury retrograde too. So I feel like somebody's been watching you or spying on you. And has been very immature with you. Or you think this person is very immature, or this situation is not right. And I feel like you've been waiting for this situation to balance out. And that's the burden that you're carrying. And you're trying to use your intuition on this because I don't know what idea you're juggling, but I feel like you're guarding your heart because you think it's gonna take away your fulfillment. Which, if that's look, if it feels off, it is off. I tell everybody that. If it feels off, it is off. You know, and if it feels good, and I don't mean pleasure, if it feels good and fulfilling inside, keep moving toward it, no matter what. Um, Tell me a little bit more here. Something you're waiting for, somebody's immature, been spying on you, got you a little butt hurt, and you're carrying this burden, and it's threatening your emotional fulfillment. That's why you're guarding your heart. Not again. So you're stuck. That's what the problem is. I think you're stuck, Gemini, here. I mean, this started out to be a good reading, but now we're digging in deep. You're stuck in a decision-making process. And either you're waiting for this other situation or person or whatever to communicate, or you want to communicate with them. I feel like there's a lot of spying going on here, whether it's you or them. Remember, these energies can go vice versa. Didn't expect this reading to kind of go in this direction, but this is where it's going. You're still not revealing what the burden is. And I think that's the issue here, Gemini. And then I just got another air sign card that just flipped out on the ground here. That's why I have the Four of Pentacles here at the heart of your reading. You are keeping yourself to yourself, but you're not divulging what this burden is that you're carrying. You won't even tell me. You won't even tell Tarot right now. You know, you've got this held in. And I feel like it's a secret. It's a secret. Because I have the Moon card and the High Priestess here. So I feel like you're keeping a secret, and whatever this secret is, and you're diligent on keeping it with the Hierophant here, which is commitment. You're committed to keeping this secret, and but it's a heavy burden for you. You know, and it has something to do with maybe kicking some people out of your experience here with the King of Swords. It's also a court card. You know, this is like cutting people out of the loop, out of your life. This is cutting out things that no longer serve you. And that could be people, places, things, events, circumstances, whatever. But whatever it is, you know, some people are getting cut out, but they don't. Because this is something you're keeping to yourself, Gemini. And you're juggling the idea of dumping this burden. That means telling them that you're going to cut them out of your life or something like that. But whatever it is, it's threatening your personal fulfillment. And I feel like you feel like the Creator is trying to nudge you toward this. Like, yeah, you need to come clean on this situation so you can dump this burden. What is this? Oh, Gemini. Clarifier. Okay, so this has something to do with a reconciliation with a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this fire sign or this other person, it doesn't have to be a fire sign. This can also represent somebody who's very charismatic, creative, um, beautiful, intelligent. This is the type of queen that, as soon as they walk into the room, everybody notices. They're also a very mysterious individual as well. Um, yeah, and I feel like either you or they are keeping themselves to themselves about cutting each other out of their experience. Somebody's cutting somebody out and they're not telling them yet. And this could be you, Gemini. You're going to cut somebody out of your life who's very charismatic, creative, passionate in everything, but you're not telling them. And this is a heavy burden for you because you want to move on to calmer waters. I think you've learned your lesson with this person, and I'm feeling a strong energy of narcissism here. So I think you know this person is a narcissist or something, and you're wanting to take those swords, which are lessons learned, get in your boat, and get the hell out of there. But you're going to take the lessons with you because if you dump those swords, guess what? You're going to leave a bunch of holes in the boat and the boat's going to sink. So I think this is cutting your losses with the King of Swords here, cutting this person out of your life and moving on to calmer waters. And I think that that's what you're being divinely guided to do. Absolutely. I got the Emperor here in this situation. But you're keeping it to yourself right now, you know. Yeah, you have not told this person, or they haven't told you, but I think it's more you. Yeah, yeah. You're trying to look at this whole thing from a different perspective and gain perspective in the situation, and you have seen it from a new perspective, and you've done some soul searching, and you've gone deep, and you know what you want to do. So I see you cutting this person out and moving on to calmer waters, Gemini. I don't think you'll be keeping yourself to yourself for long. Not at all. No, not in this situation. Whoever you reconciled with or whatever, I think you're going to reconcile this situation. Doesn't mean you're going to be with this person, but I see you definitely, yep, moving on to calmer waters for sure. Okay, Gemini, that's your reading for December. Again, if you want a personal, there's links in the description box below. If you want to donate, you can. There's a donation link down there as well. I hope you have a great holiday. It looks like you're going to be dealing with some stuff here, but I feel like in the end you're going to be loving yourself first by doing the right thing, and this person is fulfilled, and it is right next to my divinely guided card here. So, I mean, the God force is definitely on your side in this situation, Gemini. So, have a great holiday, and please like, share, and subscribe and comment, and I will see you next year.